What is happening, team? My name is John Denton. Thank you very much for joining me on another video. As you may be able to tell, I'm sweating already. It's ridiculous. We're in, I think, the biggest heat wave, or one of the most intense heat waves in the history of this country, in the modern history of this country. And I reckon it's 40 degrees centigrade in here. Regardless, I'm going to try and listen to the new Aminé album right now. I've been hearing great things. I've been enjoying all the singles that he's been releasing and the videos. Hit subscribe if you're new. Oh, if you want to see this in uncut form, that is there on my Patreon, link in the description. Come follow me Twitter and Instagram, sliding up across the bottom of the screen. Let's do this. It's weird because I've got curtains open and I can see the whole world. I'm feeling self-conscious.
Yeah, I like that.
He's beats sounding a little bit like the seagulls that are always circling around my house right now.
This so black album, like Sean Carter, screaming like I'm Rico, moshing like I'm Steve-O. Don't give him play. At 16, I was surviving off of noodle cups. Shit is legal now, the dealers know the jig is up, mom.
This is just very, very, very much my kind of vibe straight away. I've always loved music that sounds like this. Give me a little sample like that and just give me a nice vibe and the flow.
Yellow suit, yeah I'm fly, Coldplay playing Yellow Live.
I wasn't expecting a Coldplay reference 90 seconds into this record.
No, it is me. I'm a distraction. Everyone wants to say hi, or they want to take a picture, or they want to sleep with me.
Don't compare me to niggas, it's certain. Okay. Man, I'd rather die before I give up. Keep my fucking foot on their necks and never let up. Man, it's really hard to cope with her. Pilot Jones when the love is lost like I'm Coppola. Translating losses before Twitter going.
Really hard to cope with a Pilot Jones like the Frank Ocean song, When the Love is Lost like I'm Coppola. Lost in Translation being probably Coppola's probably most famous movie. I think that's probably fair to say. And then he goes translating losses before Twitter go and soak it up. Bars in there.
Long way from that Woodlawn Park. Now young Aminé push to start. Mr. Yellow Man got himself a little jam in my Fetty in Japan, cause I do this shit for Mark.
This is what I noticed listening to his previous record as I did as a kind of like preparation for this. He would go between that kind of like sort of old school, sort of maybe 2000s old school style, like that first track kind of reminded me of early Kanye, into more of a trap style. I didn't really like the trap stuff so much on 1.5, but this one already sounding a little bit sharper. We'll take it back a little bit.
I'm sipping on a Moscow, yellow suit like the mask now. Sexy my nickname, you bumped this for 6 days. Came a long way from that Woodlawn Park. Now young Aminé push to start.
Weirdly, like, fast forwarded my maturity. Whoa.
Yeah, obviously, rest in peace to Kobe. I mean, what a crazy year it's been. That sort of feels like years ago now already. Woodlawn I didn't enjoy as much as Burden on first listen, but you know, that's just a stylistic thing, my personal choice. I'm excited about this one. Charlie Wilson, JID. It's called Roots. Come on. It can't be anything other than excellent, surely.
Nigga, fuck what you heard. It's all fun and games till it happens like a base god curse. Yeah, cell keep ticking on me like I'm 617. So I Toby acquired her. I had to get a baby who could make me get wired up. You know I'm about that action. My nigga Mark could get it cracking. Open up your soul and take your body like what's happening.
Toby acquired her, as in Toby Maguire. I had to get a baby who could make me get wired up. Hangs upside down from behind the wire in that famous scene from the first Spider-Man movie.
I got my own seeds. They rip my pedals to my six cause my roots won't die. My third eye, she loves my third leg. This my third time around the worldwide winds. Give me the Versace Benz. Put work in, made my words work with pens. Scribbling sins, I drop gems. I don't got tick-tock time.
Oh, we're just inventing new flows now, are we, JID?
And the habits in your grab, so get a grip. Mr. Root, it's for the kids. Mr. Root, yo, what it is.
No, just his actual name is Mr. Root. JID's, I had no idea that was what his name was. That's brilliant. Really, really strong track. JID obviously absolutely killing his verse as always. The most consistent people I've ever heard.
Thanks. Fuck about them lies. Cross me once, I'm cutting like all ties. It goes one.
kind of contrasting styles again. Sort of this almost like an R&B style track here. Nice track, nice melody to it. Nothing hugely complicated or complex. Just an enjoyable record so far. Nothing that's too heavy going. Even that Root song. I think I need to unpack that song a little bit more on future listens. But that's just the way this album reaction is going to go, honestly, because I mean it's just ridiculous.
I'm the one you calling Aminé with the dress. She want a big dick nigga with the bread.
So I have heard this track once before. There's a reaction to it on JD2, my second channel. You can find the link to that on my main channel page. That's where all my reactions from my Twitch streams go. If you want to follow me on Twitch, I recommend it. Streaming every single week, reactions to songs that wouldn't necessarily make it as single track reactions on the main channel. That's twitch.tv/John Denton. I'll put a link to that down in the description as well. Yeah, streaming every week, reactions, maybe some gaming streams as well, maybe some full album streams coming, but definitely every week, single track reaction streams. Get involved. It's fun.
Hey, you know the feeling. This is what you thought would heal it, but it makes you feel it. Try and think. You know why? You been fucking with me since I was a small fry. And your ex-man, that's my little guy. Bitch, I fucked up once and I got you, bitch. It's hard to admit that I made my bitch. I'm about a 3 Steve Nash, baby. A couple million feet all cash, baby. I eat a little cheese and a rash, baby. I eat a little cheese like snack, baby. The orange black seats, Daffy Duck.
Orange and black seats, Daffy Duck. You don't need to say anything more than that, Young Thug. You've won already. It's actually interesting hearing this track without the excellent video.
And you know why? You been fucking with me since I was a small fry.
Because it's just a nice vibe and really nice melody in the hook there. Whereas with the video, there's so much going on that the video enhances it because it's just such a cool a bunch of imagery, and his videos are really good. He has real good presence, and whoever's directing him, I don't know if he's involved directly and all that sort of stuff, but regardless, they're all really good. But yeah, this is it's a good vibey track, and it's just kind of a good vibey album with some depth to it when it feels like it's necessary. There's nothing superfluous to any of it, but nothing's really really going heavy. I guess Burden was probably the heaviest track. So before we move on to Shimmy, another track which I've heard, another good track, I like to talk about the album art on new releases. And it's a strange one, I'm not going to lie. It is a strange one, a black and white image of Aminé pulling his mouth open at kind of 45-degree angle, I guess showing his grill, but it's black and white, so you can't even tell. That itself is a quite striking image. Then you've got the tennis ball, the bright green tennis ball with a weird limbo font. It looks like something out of the 90s, like a CD that you'd see on the shelf in Woolworths in the 90s, early 90s at that. It's a weird one. Listen, it stands out because of that bright green and you're flicking through 1,000 thumbnails, so for that reason it's quite good. I don't think it's the most artistically brilliant thing I've ever seen in my life, but it's also got something about it. So yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel about that one, because I mean it's definitely ugly.
It's been a whole year, my nigga. Let's not front. It's my year, my nigga. It's not your necklace. And that whip ain't yours, nigga. That's the IRS. I'm big.
Love the drums on this track.
In Texas, me and God text message. Split. Oh, baby, I like it raw.
Oh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
Oh, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. Get raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw.
Very interested in this track. Slow Tie, who basically never ever misses, and I love the fact he's just continually doing stuff with unusual American artists, not the most obvious like big hitters.
Punkin' niggas way before they was punk, nigga. Smoking Ashton Kush, so I calm down, nigga. We don't wanna hear your mixtape, my fucking sentences. If Steve Harvey said my name wrong, I'll catch a sentencing. Malice at the palace, or Winona up in Saks Fifth.
Your head leaking burgundy. Minister society, you're more from Weasley. Into gynecology, your pussy ass peachy.
Where every time you see his kids, we gotta see the picture. I do it big and no one ballin', don't just see the ticker.
Yeah, weird trap, weird beat, menacing. I like juxtaposition, I guess you want to call it. This kind of menacing beat, but with the confidence and arrogance going through it. Not enough slow time. I don't know if he's going to come back or not.
You need to relax. Focus over there.
Place, I'm taking the bass, yeah, I'm taking it home. I'm a young Jackie nigga, if I hit it, it's gone. Post sign singing.
Yeah, the whole energy of the song has kind of switched and evolved throughout it, which, yeah, this is another one I feel like I'm going to have to unpack on a few listens, because there's a lot going on there. Not necessarily lyrically, just sort of more musically in the vibe of it. And one thing that I'm really getting from this record so far is it's really listenable. And that might sound like a bit of an overly simplistic thing to say, but do you know what I mean? You have some records that I think have much more complex subject matter, much denser lyrics, maybe even more complicated production. But they're not necessarily just the easiest thing to spin at any single time. Whereas I feel like all the way through this so far, this is just going to be something that you can pop on whatever and catch a vibe to it. There'll be more bars that I catch on future listens, and maybe some of these songs will end up being a bit denser than they seem. And everything I've heard from Aminé so far really has that really listenable quality. And there's something to that, especially for somebody that's not necessarily trying to make sort of pop music, and I wouldn't even call this necessarily pop rap. He's trying to make sort of interesting music. It's not deeply experimental, but it has a kind of indie vibe. It reminds me of indie rock, but within rap music. And because of that, it's something that I can see myself playing a lot throughout, especially the summer months of this year.
You ain't a savage. Don't act like you perfect. You know that we both got some baggage. So clean, looking like 3 stacks in Gillette. She 5 for 5 on live, she on a jet. Shawty hit a nigga with the peace sign. Was you with me since I had the Nissan?
You really enjoy that track, actually. I really like the vibe of it. One of the more melodic tracks on the record, but yeah, had a nice energy to it. And I feel like a lot of songs on this album actually are going to be growers. They hit straight away and they're very listenable straight away. But I do feel like it's one of those albums that's going to get better on future listens, so I have no idea what to drop a first reaction score on it. But that's because first reaction scores are just that. They're literally just a number, just something to end the video on, not something to live and die by.
I know this ship has sailed and this is dead. I'm singing R.I.P. I'm singing R.I.P. And you say this shit don't matter, but we always going at it. Ain't no trusting. I need some loving.
I didn't know he could sing like this. Yeah, nice vibe on this one. Great voice. Obviously, Summer Walker has a tremendous voice, but I didn't realise Aminé had a voice this good.
We're compatible, but I ain't got no manual for trusting. I need some loving, and call your mom and thank her.
Tell your daughter you love her, and tell your son you're proud of mama. Mama.
Getting Kanye vibes in the name of the song and in the piano and the beat. Early Kanye.
Person, let's go ahead and make the song cry. And it's you that I'm missing. Every time I needed someone you would listen. I'm alright.
It's quite a sweet song. It's a sweet song.
In cases every week, so you best stay on your feet. And I'm tired, so this ain't worth the risk. I'm fed up with them all. I'm fed up with my dogs. I'm fed up.
Yeah, this is an interesting insight into obviously a specific situation leading out into broader issues. The fact that this is still the way so much of the world thinks is crazy to me, but at the same time you have to accept reality, and I guess that's what the energy of this song is. I'm fed up with a world that I know I can't change, because it doesn't feel like he can actually do anything about it.
Yeah. It's real. We fell in love and lit a flame before the Tinder came. Back when T.I. bring him out and 50 fuck with game. I want it, but she call it, she want to get on it. I tell her I'm on one. She said she might have missed a period, but my mind is somewhere else and I'm in 6th period. You know, 17 and delirious.
Rest in peace to Groggs, obviously, as well. Another awful situation.
But now I'm kinda stuck, cause what I'm chasing self-possessed. Cause Adam talking college fun.
I think we are just so used to life not being valuable. Grapefruit, and you're like, this is nice. With sugar in it, and you're like,
why is this nicer than my Ferrari? My reality.
Yeah, it's quite a strong track, that previous one with Injuries of Fetus, talking about how he felt when he was younger about potentially bringing a child into the world, and now as he feels he gets more accomplished and obviously in a place where he's more financially stable, but at the same time with that sort of monologue at the end there making sense that perhaps the stuff he thought he needed to be chasing and perhaps the stuff that the world tells us you need to chase is not actually that meaningful at all. There's a few tracks on this record, that one, Pressure on My Palms, Roots and Burden, I think that I'm going to spend some more time with and unpack a little bit more on future listens.
I know I'm so gone. I know I'm so gone.
God gave me the audacity. That's why these niggas probably mad at me. This boy, I just can't believe that we all got cheese.
Bit of 808's vibe here. There's definitely a lot of Kanye running through this. I'm sure he's a massive influence, as he is for almost everybody.
Know if the globe could handle we. Who would have thought we'd live with the sunsets? Living a dream that still isn't done yet. I'm living out my fantasy.
Yeah, nice track to finish. Like I said, some Kanye vibes there, but it never really goes all the way into the level in terms of the complexity of the production, complexity of the lyrics as Kanye. But that's unfair because we're talking about some of the best songs ever made. So yeah, overall, I enjoyed the project a lot. Like I said, I found it kind of a breezy listen and enjoyable listen, considering I'm in an extremely uncomfortable amount of heat in this room. The fact that I was able to still enjoy the record and feel that there's a lot of depth to some of those songs, and some of them are just like musically enjoyable songs. That is going to be one of those records, I think, that on future listens is probably just going to sort of happily breeze through. And I can imagine me popping this on quite a lot, especially as the weather remains warm. It does feel like a very sort of summery album without being, necessarily one of the most outstanding sort of top 5 projects of the year for me. It's not quite at that level. First stretch and score I'm feeling a 7 on it, like really enjoyable throughout. No real bad points whatsoever. Like I say, very listenable, but nothing that really completely knocked me away in terms of the beats, in terms of the lyrics, in terms of the bars, in terms of the depth or anything like that. Just a really enjoyable project that will be something that gets spun a lot. Let me know your thoughts. I know this has been a popular record amongst you guys that are watching my videos, so I'm definitely keen to know your thoughts, which songs stood out, if there's something I missed, if there's something that you really feel like I need to pay more attention to, let me know down in the comments. Guys, that's it from me. If you wanted to see this in full uncut form, that is there on my Patreon at the $5 tier. Please do go and click on the link down there in the description. Come follow me Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. That's it, innit? It's all over. I need to go and jump in an ice cold shower. I'll catch you later.
Instantly, my pulse is up around the 200 mark. It feels as though the air has been sucked out of me, but I've got to keep calm.